and fix. You meant solar power.
Yes, of course. If we had to pay the current prices, it would be worth doing, and the current prices will go down by at least 50%. And, I mean, the current lowest prices you can think of will go down by at least 50%. I was talking to Eitan Wertheimer, and he told me that in the current drought, Israel is already getting half of its fresh water, more than half its fresh water, from the sea. That takes a lot of energy. If Israel can do it, a bunch of people in the desert with no oil of their own, so can China. All kinds of things are going to be possible once we really gear up to harness the sun. That has always required cheaper solar and better batteries, and they're both coming. That's why I'm so optimistic about the long-time future of mankind. This was the major technological threat to civilization. And of course, the people in Chinese cities are dying because the air is made so lethal by the burning of their lousy brown coal. But you can see the glimmers of sunlight over the horizon. China has a way of fixing this, and so do we. And it's coming, and it really helps get rid of all this worry about global warming too, because we've got a reason that nobody can disagree with who has any sense for not burning up our hydrocarbon reserves so fast. We need them as chemical food stocks to feed ourselves and have modern civilization in the future. So we've got a very good reason for behaving just as Al Gore wants us to behave, and we can just rapidly start making all the new power so that it uses the sun instead of the coal.
But will we do it in this country quickly enough and on a mass scale?
I think it is so obvious that we should do it that it will get done. I felt that ethanol, when it came in, was massively stupid, and therefore I felt that it would pass, and it's already passing. Mm-hmm. And I think we will get smarter faster on this issue than we were on ethanol.
And likely that many more people in this country and around the world will drive electric cars. Thus,
of course.
I mean, you pushed Warren hard on BYD, didn't you?
BYD is ideally located to make an enormous contribution to human civilization. They're very hardworking and very brainy. 17,000 engineering graduates. And more coming every year. And selected from the very top of the class in a population that's 1,300,000,000 or so. Think of how brainy the Chinese engineers are that we are now competing with. It's their day. They're having their day, and I welcome it.
So then why are we, and by we I mean U.S. automakers, General Motors, Ford, the now bankrupt Chrysler, trying to compete? You have the Volt coming out in 2010. It's going to be about $40,000, reports say. It's going to go 40 miles on a charge. Compare that with BYD's vehicles. If and when they come to this country, how on earth can a U.S. automaker compete?
Well, we'd like to think that the U.S. can compete effectively, and the U.S. will compete effectively, but it may well be in the modality that happened in England. England tried to save British Leland and their other British-owned auto plants. The auto plants are still there, and they make wonderful cars, but they're owned by foreigners and not by the British people. And, of course, that's what happened with American television sets. And it is not the end of the world when the factories remain and the owners change. If you stop to think about it, every city you look at follows the basic model as follows. The city will grow into it in time, if it's some overbuilding or crazy speculation, but it's for a different set of owners. So, sure, there'll be a different set of owners, but China is a nuclear power of vast talent and with a long modern history, at least, of getting along with the United States, I think it's in the interest of both China and the United States to simply play that out. I think we're joined at the hip. And the fact that there's inconveniences for certain parts of the economy or certain states or certain industries, naturally we regret it. But I don't think we can stop history in its tracks. I think it's in the nature of things that some things wax and some things wane. And sometimes the waning hurts you and you just have to endure it. If I can endure being as near death as I am, the rest of the people can stand having some of their manufacturing go to a different state.